Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm here at the Kulttempel in Oberhausen. Besides me is Edwin from the band BRAGOLIN. Hi, first of all.
Hello.
BRAGOLIN, you maybe should know. It's a great post-punk dark wave band, you can say, from the Netherlands. We had some interview almost 1 year ago. I think it was
same location.
Same location, May last year. So my first question has to be, what have been your biggest adventures since then?
The biggest adventure is that there's now a new album, because back then we were writing the album, and now it's out since a month. We released the album in stages from beginning of January, but the album is now fully out digitally and on CD. And the vinyl is coming as soon as possible.
And your album is a good topic because we will talk a lot about this. But you also had some live shows probably in between, some cool experiences.
Yes, we had beginning of this year with the release of the new album. We had some great shows. We had played in Turkey, Istanbul. We had a sold out show in Istanbul. In Athens. We had a sold out show in Berlin, and we played in Dresden. That was last month, and we had our release party show in our hometown Utrecht last month.
So lots of cool experiences and
yeah, a bit more focus on like headlining club shows, and in the future we'll do more festivals again.
Great. And you published this new album, and did you play the new songs on these new shows mainly, or how did you?
Yeah, so we started playing the new songs here and there from the end of last year already. I think we started in October in Cologne. We already played some of the songs, and to try them out a bit, but well, they were already finished. But we actually, the last 3 shows, we call that it was a release tour, where we actually from beginning to end played all the 8 songs in order of the album in the middle of the set, and that was really cool. So that was for 1 week we did that, and now we just do a regular set again with having the songs in the middle of the here and there.
Okay.
Of the set.
So how did people react on this, that we played the whole album in a row? Was it cool? Did they know the lyrics, for example?
That's really interesting, because people already because we were releasing some of the songs already in January. It was interesting to see people singing along with them already. Indeed, it was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, great. And tonight you are playing here with Ford and Schoster.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this. But let's stick to the album now. What was important to you to make this one? I think it's the third one.
Yeah, this is the third one.
So what was important to you to make this the perfect fulfillment of 3? Because 3 is a special number.
So it took a lot of time for the last song. So last album was in 2019, a collaboration with Adam Tristar. And I had like a bit of a burnout after that, and we had COVID, and it took a lot of breaks. It took long, but for me it was important that it was be as good as I wanted it to be. So I didn't want to release it shortly, cut off edges. I just wanted it to be as good until I was happy with it. So 2 years ago I started working on it full time, and it took a lot more time than I thought still, because I was really working with a lot of details, and this album has a lot more atmospheric sounds, and it's more layered than the previous albums. And I just wanted it to be as good as I would like it.
And what have been the biggest challenges during this whole process of writing and recording and publishing?
The challenges have been that I was in a burnout, and I had a full-time job on the side, and having switched back and forth, so it took a lot of time, so putting it away all the time. So I started actually already in 2020, during COVID I already started, and then I quit it again. But actually 2 years ago I was really focused full-time. Actually now I had so much time that I spent a lot more time than I would do normally. So that was a bit of a pitfall now that I could spend a lot of time as I wanted. So calling it quits was maybe thinking this is now good enough. That was really hard when you have a lot of time. That was a challenge, and I think technically was a challenge because I wanted to do more layers. You hear, for instance, a lot more like in with tar with salt foam. You hear like the ocean waves made with a synthesizer actually, and you hear a lot more sounds. And technically for mixing, that was more of a challenge than with the previous albums, which were a bit more basic.
I see. So you tried out new things, for example, what?
Yeah, so the new things on the album are that we used electric piano on 2 songs. So there is the Run and Hide songs, which maybe sounds like a guitar, is actually an electric piano which goes through my guitar effects, and it makes it a little bit more sharper than the guitar can sound. And there's this trip hop style song at the end. In this lightless hole, which was also completely something new experience for me to make something like that, which I, as a 90s kid, really grew up with, and finally wanted to make something with that sort of sound in it. So that is a new instrument. There's like there are water phones in there, so no, not everybody knows what water phones, but in horror film music, which we take a lot of influence, right, from horror movies. You have like this water bases and with these metal pins, and you can like make strings. And so it's not like in tune, but you have it's because there's water belly in it. It flows more, and we have that also in a lot of intros in the title song. I don't like what it does to me, but also in This Presence Like a Breeze. There's also these slightly vaguey horror sounds. That there was also a new instrument. I think those and. We had the first time making a duet together with Carolee from the US, and who is also on our same record label, which I'm a big fan, and I'm happy she did the song with me. And that was something also totally new for me to have, like doing an old school duet. Because we had Isolde, my former band member, who is back on this album for one song, who did her own singing, but I never like really like intertwined with somebody like it that is a full duet. So that was cool.
And maybe this is a good thing because I have it on my paper for sure because it's special. How did this come up? Was it did you ask her, or did someone mention you could do this?
I got to know Carolee in May last year. It was actually, I think, shortly after we played here last year. Through being on the same label, and she was touring with IMX back then, and I saw her show that way, and we got to text, and we wanted to collaborate on something, and then I asked her to do the vocals on that song because I wrote the song first as not as a duet, but I wrote it like if I would be singing it, and I found it like there's so much vocals in this song. It's gonna be, I need to like either like put breaks in between, or then I found a solution. Maybe I can just have somebody else sing parts of it, and that's like how it worked out.
And how do you do this live, for example? Because she's not here, she can't sing with you.
Unfortunately not. Today and like in the old tour, this song I sing completely myself. So like the way I've written it, because I wrote it when I was singing everything, and then I gave her parts and we multi-layered. But there I'm now doing it in a sort of minimalistic ways. It's only me singing in the song, and also like there's some synthy part in there which was left out, which I do on the guitar. So it's more like a dressed down version of the same song, but I think it still works.
Can you tell the name of the song? Because I think I have written it down here, but my eyes are getting bad.
Feel This Flame Unfold.
Yeah, great. That's if people want to stream it and watch it. And the album title was?
I Don't Like What It Does to Me.
Yes, because it's all here, but I need some glasses, but the doctor is in 2 weeks, I think. I have my great. And you mentioned the title song, so there always is a reason because you say this is the perfect title for the album and the song. Yeah. What is the song all about, and why was it a perfect title for this album?
Well, we had the first album, which was I Saw Nothing Good, So I Left, and that lyrics that was made by my co-founder Isolde, and because she left the band before the album was there, that's how I chose. Like, okay, that's the perfect name for this album, I Saw Nothing Good, So I Left. And I thought I want something similar, and I was writing all these songs. And of course, you can take a different song, like a different title. Doesn't have to be the title of the album. Doesn't have to be one of the songs. But I think there were some bands in the late 70s, which we all grew up with, the current division, that took titles of not necessarily the most popular song of the album. And that's what I did the first time. I wanted to do that again. And I like to have another start with I, like it was I Saw Nothing Good, So I Left, and this was I Don't Like What It Does to Me. And the second album was a collaboration, so it could be different. So I thought there's a nice theme there. Where the title is about, it means all the internal demons we have, like all our conflicts. Like I'm struggling with ADHD and with focus and with insecurity and being an introvert. And I struggle with these things and I don't like what they do to me. So that's where that song is about that, but can be for every person. They have their own flaws, so to say, in their life, which they don't like about themselves, and I don't like what these do to me. So that's the song. Good We're Here. I've originally, when I was writing this album in 2022 during COVID, or 21 was that, I think, late 21. I was wanting to do something else. So I was working on a minimal wave project, actually, in German. Because I thought I have a band in Dutch, I have a band in English, and my third language is German. So let's try out a third band. So I was doing it this COVID project. So that's also why the album got delayed. And I stopped that plan again. I thought it's too much to have three bands. So I took this song, which was originally in German, and translated it to English. And maybe one day we'll sing it in original lyrics. But originally it was in German. So and it was no guitar. And but I made it a BRAGOLIN song out of that.
So this German minimal project is on ice, would you say? Or
yeah, it's just
maybe one day. Or
no. I think people will hope for it. No, it's just off.
But you maybe do one or two songs in the future.
Maybe I'll take one. I have a lot of songs later from that. Maybe I'll take one of them. I cannot put all these minimal wave songs in this project. It would be a bit too much. Maybe one in there I'll take and move to this band one day.
I think we probably.
Yeah.
Wait, and we can't talk about every song, but what else are the core topics on the album? Maybe.
So I always take for the lyrics a lot of inspiration from horror movies, which we now in this album also took more the sounds, which are typical for horror movies, like those horror boxes, which you can see in which we don't do live because it's very complicated, but they're samples with that. But the lyrics are inspired by some of the famous horror movies, like the opening track, Not All Are Real, is inspired by the movie The Thing. And you also hear that frosty intro, so there's a hint to that song. Tarwitz Salt Foam was inspired by the movie The Lighthouse, which is also why the music video is in black and white. And I think Feel This Flame and Fold is more about, it has nothing to do with fiction. It was more I wanted to make some a super gothy song, which I thought I asked my band member is it okay if we look at this over the top gothy lyrics for once, just because we always think it's a bit too cliche. It was okay. And then which songs do we have? Run and Hide was inspired by the movie It Follows, where you always have some entity following you. And then there's This Presence Like a Breeze was also inspired by a horror movie Bird Box, where you cannot see the entity, but it's there. I think, and then I Salute You Ancient Ocean was interesting because I made my lyrics based on Cthulhu, and then I asked Isolde to do some spoken words parts, and she took I don't know the English name. It's a French book about the ocean as well. So we both have a different book about the ocean. Yeah.
Great. And maybe we should tell the people we dimmed the light a little bit because you like it more dark. Last time was, but it's not because you are ugly, definitely not, and you are not shy. It's just because of this horror and darkness.
Yeah, we like to play with anonymity, as I call it. So if you know the album covers, which is these girls from the back, it's like portraits from the back that's hiding that. You see us on stage always a bit like being more silhouette-y, and you also see it in our band for photography. So we like to play with not being everything 100% visible and like hiding certain stuff to keep a sort of tension.
Sure. And probably this is also because all these horror movies play with this as well, because what you don't see makes you more afraid than what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
The monster in the dark is more harder than the monster that is on your face that looks like a...
Actually, very cool movies where they do that in the opposite. I forgot the name, but there's some movies where they try to stop doing that because it's been... Yeah,
great. And I have to ask you, what do you like most about darkness in general?
This is a very Gothic question, Otti.
Yeah, we have to play with cliches. Sometimes you have to do some cliches.
Well, I'm really a night person, so I like it. I sometimes it's but very late because I like the world is calming down more in the night. If you would go in my house, I have bright white walls. So it's not that I'm completely in darkness, but I also love the sunlight. I just had dinner in the sun, but it's more misty. It's not like there's this playfulness with the things that are not shown, like you said.
Great. And we will do some other cliche stuff later and other interviews probably. For today, we have to talk about your special guests, because I think Schoster you didn't know personally before, but you are totally important to them. Watch the interview; they are talking about you. This is really cool.
That's really nice. We just met. That's really cool. Flo, with Hinford we've played now. This is the fourth time we're playing with Flo. I think we have a really good dynamics with Flo. Because Flo is very positive, and his music is very energetic, and I think he has a very cool energy on stage. And I think it is very fitting with our shows. We played in Berlin and Dresden last month, and we played in Cologne together last year. I think it's working very, very nice together. So I hope to do more with him, and I think we will.
Yeah, for sure. And as I could feel talking to them, you really inspired both Flo and also Schoster. So how does it feel to be somehow an inspiration for other musicians, artists?
New. Not really. I was not really aware of that. That's really nice to hear. I hope that's cool to hear. I always like if we in our music genre we do our own things a bit, because you see a lot of dark wave poetry bands all having the same sound, and we try to sound a bit different with a different type of guitar sound. I use like a baritone guitar. My vocals are a bit more clean. It's not like that I'm in some sort of tunnel. Maybe some people would not like that as much, but I at least I prefer doing something a bit more unique than something which maybe sounds more perfectly dark wave, so to say. And it's nice that they take some inspiration from that. I don't know which parts exactly, but that's cool. And I hope people keep making good music.
And I'm looking forward to the show because 3 cool bands tonight.
Yeah.
And all unique, all special. To come to an end now, because I think we'll meet in the future and have more talks.
I hope so.
But for tonight, what's coming next after the show album is released? So we have some plans.
Yeah, big plans. So now I have more time. We last week announced the very first US tour, first US show. I'm planning to do a tour together with Carolee, and we're maybe working on some more music in the future. Next week, we have a new song to be released, which is a remix of Carolee's song Hope. That will be released next Friday. That's part of...
Probably it's out when this video comes.
Okay, cool.
Because so quick I'm not.
No, that's fine. She will be releasing a remix album with 6 remixes. I know iMix is on there. The other remixes you know from she released. And then we will be there in another one. So that's the second song we did together. And then we might work on something else. In the meantime, I'm making plans for a 4th album. I don't want to take it that long as the last time because it was 6.5 years. 6.5 years. Well, for me it was like, do you want to? We either had to like stop doing concerts for a bit or take longer with the album, and eventually I quit my job to have the full focus on both. But I don't want to take it that long anymore. It's not going to be there maybe not even next year. But maybe you can do a little bit more with Carolee because I'm also touring with her, and I hope we can have a next album to be again as good. Like, of course, one person will not like it as much as the other, but let's say maybe I was inspired there by My Bloody Valentine. Mm-hmm. They said in the 90s, we only want to release the album again if it's as good as what it was. We're not gonna make albums to make albums, because I think you can fool your audience once with that. Like you make an album and people are okay, it's not as good, and then you have the next album and people say, yeah, I only like their first album. Yeah. And then maybe people don't give you albums after a chance more. So I want every album to be good. That's my goal. So if it takes long, it takes long. If it's short, we're lucky it's short. And maybe people won't like it, maybe because I'm gonna try some more things that I like. I want to try some other influences again. But at least that I think it's good enough.
Okay. And I'm looking forward to it. And in between, we'll talk on shows. And when the album is out, we can talk about this again because we have more and more topics. Yeah, for sure. We make some series out of this.
Yeah. Okay.
For today, to come to an end, do you have some message, some greetings to the people outside?
I hope people keep coming to our shows. I hope. I think the audience mainly in Germany, right? But it's wider as well. There are still some areas where we didn't play enough yet. Like I think we still didn't play in Spain, and I know people want us to go there. I hope we can do that before we see each other again. I think we owe that. I think it's time to do some festivals again next year, so more people will see us again. I hope people will come to the shows and listen to our new album. I hope they like it. I also hope they like it. They're gonna listen to it online. The new album, so like it's not yet out on vinyl because there's a delivery problem of the vinyl core. Like because of the wars and stuff in Iran, unfortunately. Besides all the killing, also there's no vinyl because of that. I think she passed away. Also has like a delay in the delivery.
Many bands have.
Many bands. It's a pity. So I hope people are gonna give this new album a chance, and go see us somewhere.
And I like the album, it's really cool.
Thanks.
I like your show, and I'm looking forward to see you again on stage.
Okay.
And for today, I say thank you.
Thank you, Otti.
People outside, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
BRAGOLIN, great band. Check them out if you don't already know. And I say bye-bye, cheers.
Bye-bye.